Hey friends, I want to say thanks for taking a look at the Take Note system and deciding whether or not it's something that's right for you. And I wanted to take just a couple of minutes to share with you really from my heart about what Evernote is all about and why I'm doing this in the first place. I never really set out to be somebody who's teaching others about Evernote. It just sort of happened by accident, to be quite honest with you. A couple of years ago, a friend of mine and I were talking, and he knew that I really loved Evernote and used it a lot and was a big fan of it. And so he asked me to help him to learn some things about Evernote. And I, of course, agreed to. I'm always, agreeable to helping others learn about Evernote. And so instead of explaining to him how to use different features and things like that, I thought I would just make some YouTube videos, and some tutorials because it would be easier for him to learn it that way. So I made those very quickly, put them up on YouTube. And, months went by, and about a year and a half later, I discovered I was getting tens of thousands of views on those. So I knew there was something to that. There was a hunger that people had to learn Evernote. But I think there was something deeper than that. It's more than just wanting another app, wanting something else to mess with, wanting another system to learn, wanting some other digital tool to complicate our lives. I think there's a deeper hunger than just wanting something superficial like that. There's really something, kind of, not to get too philosophical, but there's something deep within our hearts and deep within our spirits that longs for the kind of things that a system like Evernote can provide. Let me explain what I mean by that, because I don't want to get too mystical about this, but I really believe there's a deeper connection here than just using an app or using a system or using computers or mobile devices or things like that. There's really three things that I think Evernote is about. And I look at this in a very foundational and fundamental way, and I hope that you'll kind of hear what I'm saying. First of all, I think Evernote is about your life. Evernote really is about helping you to achieve a higher quality of life. And again, not to sound too, mystical or deep or anything like that, but because Evernote helps you to organize content, it helps you to have a place to put everything, it helps you to get rid of paper clutter and reduce stress in your life. It really does, honestly, help you to have a higher quality of life if you learn the system and you follow through with it. Second of all, Evernote is really about your art. And when I say your art, I don't mean, just painting or drawing or music or creative sorts of things like that. Your art is the thing that you were born to do. Your art is the thing that gives you pleasure and joy in life. Your art is the way that you bless the world. It's the way that you contribute to humanity and bring something to the table. And your art is really about doing work that matters. And when I think of what Evernote does and the great tool that it is, it helps me to do work that matters, and it helps me to bring my very best to the table and bless the world through that. And it does that because it helps me to get organized. It helps me to collaborate with others. It helps me to remember things and not lose ideas. It helps me to be less stressed because I'm not worrying about where I put all my ideas, whether they're in an email or whether it's some scrap of paper that I wrote something down on, or some notebook somewhere, or some audio recording or whatever. It really gives me a central place to put things, which I really appreciate. So in that way, Evernote is really about your art and what you do and how you bring your best to the world. Evernote helps you do that in a better way, I believe. And then third and finally, Evernote is about your relationships. Life is not about me. Life is not just about you. Life is about other people as well. In fact, it's more about other people than it is about us. And Evernote helps us in our relationships. It helps us in a couple different levels of relationships. One is that it helps us to have better relationships with those that are closest to us, because when we are happier, whenever we are more at peace with ourselves, whenever we are more organized, whenever we have less clutter that's taking up mental and emotional space in our hearts and our lives, we're just happier people, and we get along with people better. And not just our coworkers, but people in our family and those who are closest to us that we work with. But it also helps us in our relationships with those that we lead and those that we serve, because when we're, again, more organized, when we are decluttered as much as humanly possible, whenever we feel at peace and whenever we're not losing information and ideas, we just do better work. Plain and simple. It's really, really that simple. And so I think this whole system that I'm offering, but really it's much more than just something I'm offering. It's really about Evernote and what it does for us. It's really about your life, it's about your art, and it's about your relationships. And it's really, when it comes down to it, it's about how we do what we're born to do and how we do what brings us most joy, and how we do that better, how we do it with more excellence, and how really in the end, it's about how we bless the world and how we bring our very best to the table. So I hope that gives you kind of a picture of why I'm offering this Take Note system. It's not because I set out to do this. Years ago, I just sort of stumbled into it. but because I know how Evernote has blessed my life and how passionate I am about helping people get organized and helping them to live a higher quality of life. This is why I'm going to the trouble of offering this. And so as you look at this system, I hope that you decide this is something that will help you and something that will bless your life and be a help to you in your life and your work and your art. And even if you don't buy anything from me, that's totally fine. What I want most of all is for you to know what the power of Evernote is and how it can bless your life and help your life. And if there's any way I can help you, regardless of whether or not you buy something, please let me know. You can see my email address there on the sales page. And if there's some way that I can help you or any questions that you have about Evernote, please let me know. I don't know everything in the world about Evernote, but I know quite a bit, I suppose. So if there's some way I can help you or serve you, please let me know. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it.